This is farmers versus democracy. Players take the role of down-on-their-luck farmers. All of their land is dying due to natural hazards and disasters. The farmers attempt to pass policies that will help their plot of land return to a healthy state, based on which hazard has affected them. The board is set up as shown, with each player placing 6 brown tiles on their section of land, indicated by the fences. Players move around the board according to the result of 2 coins being tossed. Players must apply their own coins, however, other people can share if there are some who are without. 2 tails equals 3 spaces in either direction, 2 heads equals 2 spaces, and 1 of each equals 1 space. These instructions are also on the edge of the board. Players take turns in a clockwise direction. Playing pieces are put on any tile within each player's section, however cannot begin on a tile with an A on it, an action tile. The policy cards are distributed and revealed. This determines what policy you will be voting for when you reach, in order, the House of Representatives and the Senate. We are representing the process of getting policy passed in real life. Okay, youngest starts, so I will start. And then I can move 3 steps in any direction because I got 2 tails. 1, 2, 3.
Action card.
When players land on an action tile, one of 4 cards may be drawn. A question card, which requires the player to answer an agriculture-related question. A brown land tile, which turns a segment of green land brown. A special move card, which gives the player more spaces to move according to what is written on it. And a DNA card, which represents digitally networked action. This allows players to move to any space occupied by another player, who then must draw an action card, regardless of whether they are on an action tile. These players then all perform the action of the card that was drawn. You must read out what the action card says once you have drawn it. It says, I am king of the answers, or the queen, depending. Either way, ask me a question.
Alright, so someone else asked the question.
Yeah.
What animal was a major pest to the farmers by the beginning of World War I? A. Fox, B. Toad, C. Rabbit.
The beginning of World War I? Fox?
Rabbit.
Oh, damn it. The question was answered incorrectly, therefore nothing happens. However, if there was any green land in the section, it would have been turned to brown. If the player answers the question correctly, a vote card is given to them, either a yes or no vote, which will be used when someone reaches each of the Houses of Parliament. If, for example, a player uses a DNA card to move to another player's space, bringing also the player on the same space, they must draw an action card. Since it's a question card, they must all collectively answer a question. The question was answered correctly, therefore the player whose turn it is turns over a brown land card, and everyone who was on the space receives a vote card. The game has progressed, with players gathering vote cards from correctly answering questions. Once a player has reached the House of Representatives, their policy is put forward, wherein everyone who has at least 1 vote card must vote. In order for the policy to go to a vote, there must be at least 1 vote card in play. You have no way of knowing how the others will use their vote cards. All players must vote at least once, but they may cast as many votes to try and swing the outcome. Each policy passed affects every player's land differently. These differences represent contrasts in democratic ideologies. How each player is affected by the policy is written on the policy card, which all players are shown when a policy is put forward. If the policy is passed, the player receives a House of Representatives token. Remember, you must pass your policy at the lower house first, then the upper house. When a player has all green land and has passed their policy at the upper and lower house, they win the game.